I suppose in the end, the whole of life becomes an act of letting go. But what always hurts the most is not taking a moment to say goodbye.
True to his words, Irfan Khan passed away without saying a goodbye, but left behind a legacy that shall transcend time and geography forever. Sahibzada Irfan Ali Khan, born on January 7, 1967 in the Tonk district of Rajasthan, was not just an actor, but an unparalleled cinematic experience. Fascinated by stories from a young age, Irfan Khan enjoyed enacting people and characters for fun with his friends. Post completing his education, he moved to Bombay, where his journey in television and movies began. And for us, a discovery of how much art there can lie within a human being. His eclectic body of work boasts of countless exemplary performances, some that could not even be graced enough by the highest cinematic honors of the world. In my tribute to Irfan Khan, I have identified 5 of my most favorite performances of this acting god to celebrate with you. Feel free to discuss and share your own in the comment section below. Hasil. Irfan Khan plays a powerful student union leader, Ranvijay Singh, who is shrewd, manipulative, and someone who can go to any lengths to take what he believes is his. Irfan breathes life into the character of the feisty rustic goon and mouths dialogues that sound authentic and rooted to his character's origins. Irfan's volatile display of going from mellow to madness is unbelievable. Scenes to watch out for. First, a chase scene involving Ranvijay being caught and beaten brutally by members of the rival gang. This happens right at the start of the movie. Irfan's gangster swag is on full display as he mocks and threatens the goons while being beaten up. Make for a treat the audiences will be bowled over by. The other scene to watch out for in this student political drama is where you can find an inconsolable and grieving Ranvijay being restrained to a chair by his own gang, howling and seething with rage, trying to break free to avenge the deaths of his village folks. Irfan's reflection of his character's pain is beyond unbelievable. Watch as Irfan begs and cries in agony to be let go. No Filmfare, BAFTA or Oscar award worth its salt would do justice enough to recognize this genius performance by the legend himself. Maqbool. This haunting drama set in the backdrop of Mumbai's underworld of the 90s is based on Shakespeare's Macbeth. Brooding, intense, and a man of few words, Irfan is a case study on how he lets his eyes do the talking as the sinner Maqbool, a man possessed by jealousy and lust. The scene involving Kaka's corpse brought to the newly anointed godfather Maqbool's doorstep is a must-watch. Maqbool, responsible for the murder of Kaka, pretends to be in grief until he imagines the corpse of Kaka come alive. Watch as Irfan, petrified at the sight, falls back in utter disbelief.
क्या है ये? उसको नहीं ना उसको याद है जिंदा उसको बहुत खोली उसको इसको लेके जाओ अंदर इसको लेके तुम आया बड़ा उसको अरे मिया मिया मैं क्या है मत हाँ
The other scenes to look out for are Maqbool's interactions with his lover Nimi. One such involves Nimi snatching Maqbool's gun, pointing it at him and refusing to return it unless he referred to her as his beloved. Irfan's range as an actor is on display in such moments where his character deals with an unpredictable Nimi throughout the story. Pan Singh Tomar. Having by now cemented his position as a bankable character actor star, Irfan took on the role of a rebel or Baghi as known in Hindi in the movie Pan Singh Tomar. Irfan surrenders to the role with honesty and you cannot help but be moved by the angst and conviction of his character Pan Singh Tomar, a man failed by local governmental bureaucracy. A former army jawan and a national level sportsman, Pan Singh takes up arms to avenge his family's misfortunes and becomes a Baghi. Irfan delivers a cracking performance in every scene. However, a scene involving Pan Singh's failed appeal at receiving help from the local police stands out. From pleading to feeling shamed and angered, Irrfan effortlessly portrays a wide spectrum of emotions that few actors in the Hindi film industry can showcase in such a natural way.
हमारे मोड़ों को इतो मारो है जे खटिया पे पड़ो है खून बहरो है वह हिलडुल ना पारो।
अरे तो सांस तो चल रही बाकी मरो तो ना अभी तक
जब मर जाए तो तबे आए।
From holding the gate and conditioned poise of an enlisted military officer to speaking the local Chambal dialect, as well as with displaying the right kind of ruggedness, Irrfan convinces you that he's every bit the invincible rebel. Irrfan outdoes himself scene after scene, but is at his stunning best when his character Pan Singh outruns his sworn enemy Bhavar Singh in a chase and captures him at gunpoint. Lunchbox. Irrfan plays a middle-aged widowed accountant, Sergeant Fernandez, who is about to retire. A loner, socially distant, emotionally detached and carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders, Irrfan's maestro-like grasp on his character Sergeant grows on you. You could watch this entire film with only Irrfan in it due to his ability to emote so much without saying a word. Taking the new recruit Sheikh under his wings, Sergeant reluctantly befriends him. In a scene where Sheikh explains to Sergeant that he has no family to represent him for his wedding, he asks if Sergeant can assume himself as his guardian. Overwhelmed, Irrfan's character suddenly feels a cathartic moment at the idea of having family again and can barely utter the word, "of course." Here is where Irrfan shows his acting prowess, relying solely on Nawazuddin Siddiqui's multiple dialogues and saying only a few words in return while eating out of a bowl of dessert. Watch as he alternates between eating and listening. It is a sheer treat.
चाचा चाची भाई बहन ताया ताई बीवी शौहर सब के सब लोग हैं। पूरा कौन पाएगा सर की तरफ से? चक्कर मेरी तरफ से सर कोई भी नहीं है, अकेला हूँ मैं। तो मैं ये सोच रहा था कि अगर आप मेरे सरपरस्त बन जाते शादी के लिए, मतलब गार्जियन बन जाते तो,
मैं
और इला मैडम भी आ जाती तो।
आपको
थैंक यू वेरी मच।
वेलकम।
थैंक यू सो मच सर।
Namesake. A lesser celebrated movie than the others on this list, it only had one thing that anyone viewing it can never forget it for, and that is the wizardry of the man himself. Irrfan Khan plays Ashok Ganguly, who along with his newly married wife moves to America to start a new life there. The movie highlights a relatable angle of an Asian immigrant family's struggle with adjusting to a foreign land and integrating their children with their native Indian culture. Irrfan Khan plays a Bengali professor who is a huge fan of Ukrainian author Nikolai Gogol, who he names his son after. Irrfan brings in vulnerability, depth and compassion to his part as a loving father who only pines for the happiness of his family. A scene that tugs at the soul and would resonate with any viewer is the one with a young Ashok walking his son Gogol on the rocks towards an ocean to take a picture and stopping to find he forgot his camera with his wife behind. Not wanting to return to fetch it due to possibly losing sight of the beautiful view, Irrfan as Ashok asks his son Gogol to remember the view, and the son innocently asks how long he needs to remember it. Irrfan's reply to the question is sheer poetry in acting that I believe very few actors could have pulled off, ever. With my top 5 Irrfan Khan performances behind us, I realized all these performances of Irrfan Khan were largely intense, complex and sometimes dark characters. I imagine I would do great injustice to this talismanic actor if I didn't highlight his impeccable flair in playing light-hearted roles. He was just as dazzling with his comic timing. While it is hard to pick any one performance among Irrfan Bhai's constellation of shining gems, I chose Monty from the movie Life in a Metro. Monty, a late 30-something corporate working bachelor, is desperate in every sense to get married. Irrfan is hilarious as the socially inept, sometimes lecherous and straightforward Monty. Two scenes to watch out for. First, a scene where Monty meets a prospective bride Shruti played by Konkana Sen at a coffee shop. Irrfan is creepy and weird with his random straight talk as the no-filter Monty and makes Shruti uncomfortable with his words and action. Another epic must-watch scene is where Monty, who is now just a few days from getting married and has become good friends with Shruti, is now advising Shruti on the importance of getting married. Irrfan will just crack you up with his character's randomness. What I truly enjoyed about Irrfan's portrayal of roles like Monty was his ability to play the simplest of everyday characters, devoid of any unique traits, with such dexterity that these characters remained with us long after. Case in point, works like Yogi in Kareeb Kareeb Single and Rana Chaudhary in Piku. While these roles are cheerful, Irrfan infuses a calibrated blend of compassion and emotional intelligence into them. With that, I've come to the end of this tribute. While Irrfan Khan is no longer with us today, he shall live on through this myriad of people he became. Irrfan Khan shall always be that guy we kind of knew, because he was one of us. I hope you've enjoyed the celebration of an artistic prodigy called Irrfan Khan. Kindly like, share and subscribe if you did. Thank you.